Welcome to Marquee Backstage from the Lodge at Thunder Sound Studios. I'm your host, Julie Milam. Well, kick back, grab a drink, and get ready for the dynamic Americana sounds of Whiskey Wolves of the West.
Leroy was playing a show at Stagecoach 2016 and had booked his own show, and he asked if I wanted to play it with him. I had met Leroy years before when he was playing with Shooter Jennings. I used to work at this place called the Hotel Cafe in Los Angeles, and Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine would do a show there every Tuesday called The Night Watchman. And he would have all like superstar guests come in every week, and one week was Leroy and Shooter. And they had played, and then I guess I was supposed to be, Leroy's date that night was supposed to be Winona Ryder. And Leroy had bolted straight away from the show and went to the after party. He was pre-partying for the after party. And so I was left to be with his date because I was kind of doing hospitality at the time. So I took Winona Ryder to the party for Leroy. I found him already in the hot tub with a cigar in one hand and a boot of champagne.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, hey, great show tonight. You know, it was really cool. And he was like, oh, thanks, kid. Why don't you give me some more champagne? And so I was immediately impressed.
I remember you in the autumn leaves, the amber breeze. How could I forget your pirouettes in silhouettes against a full moon rising in the night? Hiding dark surprises in your eyes until my head was ringing and my heart was singing. Savannah, where the shadows play. Savannah, where my secrets stay. Savannah, we were out of time. Savannah, my darling, forever you'll be on my mind.
I had just, been in a band for so long. I didn't really want to be in a band, but I also didn't like performing as Tim Jones. I've just never been interested as a solo performer. And Leroy was like, I'm really tired of myself. I would like to perform like under something else and do something different. And he's like, we'll call it Whiskey Wolves of the West. And I was like, that's an awfully silly name. Are you sure we want to call it that? And he's like, well, Kat, my fiance, came up with it. And I was like, oh, well, if she thinks it's cool, then it's got to be cool.
Perfect.
She knows what's cool, and I don't. So great. And then we played the show at Stagecoach, which is like the biggest country music festival in the world. And Randy Lewis from the LA Times wrote us up and said that we were great. And I was like, oh, well, we must be great then. So we've just been riding that, belief ever since.
I held your hand until I lost my grip. Soon to be September, those nights I remember. Savannah, where the shadows play. Savannah, where my secrets stay. Savannah, we were out of time. Bury it down, bury it down deep in Savannah, where the shadows play. Savannah, where my secrets stay. Savannah, we were out of time. Savannah, my darling, forever you'll be on my mind. I remember you in the autumn leaves, the amber breeze.
I don't play music, I spend time with my girls. I have 3 daughters. It's 4-year-old, 2-year-old,